Hey, it's Nay, and today we're doing some hair. So it's been a while since the last time I gave you guys a hair update. The last video I did was when I reviewed the $400 Rev Air blow dryer. So it's been a lot of months since then. I've been transitioning now for over a year. I got my last relaxer in March of 2023. And I have definitely learned a lot on this hair journey. What I can say from my experience with transitioning is that transitioning is actually not as hard as people think. And there's a lot of videos online about, oh, get prepared and buy all these products and this is the best way and the only way to transition. And really that's not the case. The most important thing that you need to take into consideration when you decide that you're gonna start transitioning or you're getting ready for your big chop is making sure that it's actually your decision. There's a lot of chatter online about, oh, you should be relaxed or, oh, you should be natural. Really, you should just be whatever's comfortable for you and whatever fits into your lifestyle. So for example, I decided to stop getting relaxers because I got my hair relaxed, went to one event with my hair down, all flowy and whatnot, and then it was up for the next 2 weeks because I was going to the gym. So for me, the whole reason why I was relaxed in the first place was because I wanted to wear my hair down. My lifestyle has now changed to where wearing my hair down is not really feasible. I go to the gym 4 or 5, sometimes 6 times a week, and my hair has to be up because that sweat, all that wet, dry, all those conditions were changing my hair. So I'm saying all that to say, I made the decision for me because of how my life was going, how my lifestyle was affecting my hair. And it made more sense to me to stop using the chemicals because I wasn't enjoying the benefits that I originally started getting relaxers for. So transitioning for me has not been this big scary struggle because I actually made the decision based on my life and what was best for me. So any changes that I've had to make with my hair routine or the types of hairstyles that I can wear, I'm able to come to terms with that and enjoy that journey because it's a decision that I sat down with myself and made with myself. So one of the major things that I've been experimenting with since I've been transitioning is hairstyles. So I used to get my hair braided a lot. I would get it braided, I would take those braids out, and then I would wear my hair out in braids that I put in for 2 weeks before I put more braids in. Well, that's kind of expensive and very time consuming. So I bought a mannequin head and watched a bunch of YouTube tutorials and taught myself how to cornrow. So ever since then, since about November, I've just been braiding my hair down and crocheting away, trying all these different styles. That has really made this journey easier because I can cornrow my hair and keep it away for a month at a time. And it cuts down on the amount of manipulation that I have to deal with. One of the things you'll notice if you do decide to transition is that the more you manipulate your hair, the more you're gonna pull it out because of those 2 different textures. So I'm actually taking out one of my crochet styles right now. So once I get done untying these knots, I'll be back and we'll start taking down my braids so we can see how much progress I've made. Okay, so now I finally got all the loops out and it is time to take out these braids. Woof! So how I've been doing my protective styles for the last couple of months is I will wash my hair real good, moisturize it, and then I will braid it down. After I braid it down is when I install my crochet hair. I keep that in for 2 weeks and then I'll cut it out like how y'all just saw. And then I don't take the hair completely down. So I keep these same braids in. I wash the braids. I sit up underneath my hooded dryer until it's completely dry. I moisturize my hair and then I install fresh packs of crochet hair. So that way I'm only fully manipulating my hair once a month. And this has really helped with length retention and I'm able to see the growth. So I get that gratification every time I take my hair down that my hair is actually growing. So another reason why I say transitioning or separating from your hair chemical of choice is because a lot of people talk about when they're transitioning or when they do their big chop and they're dealing with just their regular hair texture, they always talk about dryness, but they act as if their hair wasn't dry before they stopped using the chemicals. I can say for me, my hair has always been dry and I've always had to be like a product junkie that moves through a lot of products because I may find a good product that keeps my hair moisturized and makes it manageable for a couple of months, but then after a while my hair gets tired of it and I have to change. But that's something that's always been with me. So it's not like a new feature of my hair that I've had to accept since I've started transitioning. One of my favorite products that I've been using throughout this time to make sure that I'm detangling my hair without pulling it out is this African Pride Moisture Miracle Pre-Shampoo. This stuff only costs a couple of dollars at the beauty supply store or on Amazon, and it is a lifesaver. So you just take a couple of handfuls and just smooth it through your hair and work it through after you take out your braids or whatever style you have. And this helps to create what they've been calling slip, which means it makes your comb glide through your hair instead of yanking your hair out. And it helps with pain too, because I'm real tender-headed. I thought that that was something I was gonna grow out of. And so I just make sure to coat all the hair before I go in with the comb, especially focusing on the roots. Oof. And then when I'm ready, I just split my hair off into a little section and I work through one section at a time. And I apply more of the product as needed. Another thing I've noticed while I've been transitioning is that people talk about a lot of hair breakage and excessive shedding, but I haven't experienced that. And that's because I have been keeping my ends trimmed. What I'll do is, as the months go on, I'll notice, especially like right now, if I'm having issues getting the comb all the way through to the bottom, it probably means that it's time for my hair to get trimmed. So I use these same scissors and I'll just cut wherever it's getting tangled, and I just try to even it up all the way around. So eventually it's gonna be the day where I cut and there's nothing left but my original texture. This is the progress I've made in a year. They say you're supposed to grow like 6 inches of hair within a year. I would say if you stretch this out, this is about 6 inches. Yeah, that's about 6. Okay. I also wanted to note that if you see me pulling out pieces of hair, it's not due to the transitioning or anything. It's just because I've had my hair braided in these braids for the last month. So your hair is naturally gonna shed. But what I can say is my hair is not actually breaking. Like, these are full pieces of hair that would have shed regardless, that have just been sitting in the braids for the last month. So when I originally decided that I was gonna record this video, I imagined myself saying so much more than what I'm actually saying. But the reason why there's not much to say is because there's not much to teach. This process is really not hard. Like, it's not hard. It's not something that's life-altering. I mean, let's think about it. Black women, we always keep our hair done anyway. We're always going to hairdressers or braiders and figuring out different ways to do our hair. So what makes dealing with the original texture of your hair any more work than dealing with your hair when it's relaxed or chemically treated? I guess what I'm trying to say is these folks have really been filling up our heads with this narrative that our hair is hard to manage and transitioning is so hard and dealing with your hair is so hard and buy my oils and watch my tutorials, when really the only way that you will know how your transitioning or natural journey is gonna go is if you go through it yourself. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I haven't watched a bunch of YouTube videos. When I first decided that I was gonna transition, I watched a bunch of videos. I watched big chop videos. I watched transitioning product videos. And from my experience, 90% of the product that I bought based on somebody else's video did not work for me. The only product that did work was this Moisture Miracle product that I showed y'all a couple seconds ago. So I'm just gonna reiterate that if you want to transition or if you want to big chop your hair, just make sure it's something you wanna do. Because if it's something that you wanna do and something that you set your mind to, you're gonna be able to be successful no matter what roadblocks you may encounter or whatever pitfalls or mistakes you may make. That's just life. I want there to be more people out there, more women who have already gone through this process that are more honest about the process and not always trying to sell you something, not always trying to fear monger and make us be afraid of the stuff that grows out of our scalp. Black women are the only ones that have so much narrative revolved around their hair, and it really doesn't need to be, especially now. In 2024, there are definitely way more products and way more resources out there for if you do need help getting started, or you do need to try different products to figure out what works for your hair. There's help. There's help out there. There's resources out there. But I think that those resources and those real products that can actually help you, those get pushed down because somebody's trying to sell their hair growth oil that they made in their kitchen, or we see these ads on social media and these commercials on TV, if you still watch TV, of these women using this miracle product that made their hair grow 24 inches in a year. Like, that stuff is not realistic. And I guess I'm trying to give y'all a realistic idea of what this process actually looks like. And I want to help push down some of those fears or some of that trepidation that you may have when approaching this process. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not bad at all. Like I said, when we talk about, oh, my hair is so dry now that I've big chopped, or now that I'm transitioning, your hair was always dry. And before, when your hair was dry, you changed to a different product. So all you gotta do is just read, know what your hair needs. There are resources out there that will help you determine whether or not your hair needs protein or if it needs moisture. And then you gotta go to the store, set some time aside to pick up all the products that are within your price range and that you're interested in, and just read and see if it's gonna help. Also, open it up and stick your finger in there. I know we all do that. So yeah, I want every woman who has not transitioned or is afraid of transitioning or big chopping, I want you to take this journey by the horns, okay? This here is no harder than any other battle or issue that you're gonna have to tackle in your life. It's probably easier. Oh, y'all done got me riled up. I have days at work that are harder than my wash day, okay? You know what's hard? Going to the gym and doing abs, okay? That's hard. You know what else is hard? After you done worked a long day, now you gotta come home, you gotta make sure your dish is clean, you need to do the laundry, you gotta cook dinner, but oh, you can't cook the dinner because you gotta go to the store and get the dinner. You see what I'm saying? We go through hard things all the time, and caring for your hair or doing what you wanna do with your hair should not be hard. The only difference between hair and those other scenarios that I just talked about is that you set your mind to it. You set your mind to say, I'm gonna have dinner, so I gotta do these steps to make sure I have dinner. I need clean clothes, and I'm gonna have clean clothes. I need to do these steps to make sure that my clothes are clean. Well, you need to do the same thing for your hair. I'm gonna transition, or I'm gonna big chop because I don't wanna get relaxers anymore. I don't wanna have chemically treated hair anymore. So I need to do these steps. I've said it in a couple of my other videos, and I'm gonna keep saying it all this year, and then next year I'm gonna say it again. In 2024, we are grabbing life by the horns. There is nothing that we cannot do, okay? All right, now, I'm gonna get back down to business. These folks be online and on TV talking about these brushes and all these products, and I've had this wide tooth comb since I was a teenager, probably before that. And this comb works just fine. I have not spent a dime on any additional hair manipulation tools since I've started this journey. That's the other thing. Yes, you will have to figure out what products you need to use, but we've always had to figure out what products we needed to use. The important thing is make sure that you don't just jump on every product hair train that everybody else is on. Like, for instance, they have all those rice water products. What is it, the Miel rice water products? I bought one and used it one time, and I said never again. I didn't like how it made my hair feel. But everybody on social media was talking about, let's get these rice water products. And this rice water is great. Rice water is great. When you read up on rice water provides you with protein and stuff. So for the people that this rice water worked for, it was the people who needed protein. The people who needed something else, the people who needed moisture, or probably just needed a trim, were putting this rice water in and their hair was falling out. People spending money on these brushes that they claim glide through our hair so great. You know what I'm talking about, those little brushes. They're like this big, and then they have those little bitty teeth on there. I've never been able to use a brush with little bitty teeth. So at my big old age now, I'm not gonna believe that this brush put in all these pretty colors is gonna work for my hair. And see, y'all done got me started up again. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, that's what it was. Don't Don't go out here wasting your money on all these products. And if you do, because we do, a lot of us are product junkies because you want a new smell or something stops working, and that's cool, but don't run out here and buy a product just because everybody else is using the product, because it may not work for you. Or at least if you're interested in getting that product, research the product first. Like, read the ingredients to see if there's the stuff in there that you need. And again, like I said, the only thing that makes this journey hard for people or makes this journey unmanageable for people is when they do it for the wrong reasons. So I've had plenty of people back when I was relaxed, they were like, oh, your hair is not healthy. You need to go ahead and go back natural. Well, who are you to say that my hair is not healthy? That's the other thing. All hair is healthy. So I really hate how I get online, and I like to watch a lot of hairdresser videos just because it's just something I'm interested in. And whenever they have these videos where it'll say like, oh, she's going back to a relaxer after being natural for 15 years. People just be eating the lady up in the comments. They eat up the hairdresser. They eat up all these people. And it's like, why y'all so mad about what somebody else is doing with their hair? You wanna know why you mad? Because you sat there and you had a relaxer and you didn't really want to get rid of the relaxer, but you did it because you was listening to everybody else, and now you hate the next lady because she decided to be an individual. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Even more important, who are you to give someone else that much power over you? Why do I care about what the next person thinks about my hair when at the end of the day, I gotta wake up with me? Well, I guess I gotta go to bed with me, but you know what I mean. At the end of the day, all I got is me, okay? When I come out of this room after using the bathroom, the only person that's in this mirror is me. So ultimately, I need to worry about what me and I and myself think is important or feel is important. And that's how we all should be. I feel like if everybody just worried about they self and had the power to stand firm in their choices and their decisions, and had the ability to, not even had the ability, because we all have the ability, really stood firm in their decisions and was able to block out the chatter from everybody else, this whole world would be a better place. All right, let me get back on topic. I done went from talking about transitioning to world peace. I say all that to say, this process ain't that bad. The other thing is, if you aren't able to do hair just because you don't want to, or you don't have the time to practice, or your fingers can't do that, well, there's plenty of hairdressers out here, hairdressers that specialize in transitioning and natural hair that can assist you. So again, there's plenty of resources out here, especially the hairdressers, and I'm talking about actual hairdressers, like people who have cosmetology licenses that can look at your hair and help you determine what you need and how you need to proceed. And they can also keep you up with your trims. They can detangle for you and everything. They can braid it down for a couple of weeks. Like I said, there's really not much to say about transitioning other than take care of your hair, learn the things that your hair needs, and be patient. Because like with my hair, for example, it took a while for me to really notice the growth in my hair because I was manipulating it every week or every 2 weeks. So I would like do something to the top, like I would do a rubber band style up here, and then I would slick the rest of it into a ponytail, and then I would pop a ponytail on the back. I'll insert some photos because I'm sure I have, I got some videos up here where y'all will see my infamous ponytails. But one thing that has really helped make this journey more satisfying for me is keeping my hair braided down for a month and then seeing the change after a month. Seeing change from a month is way different than seeing change week after week. You're not gonna see it. So the fact that my hair is put away for 4 weeks at a time and I only see it once a month, it helps me remember that I'm doing the right thing for myself and for my hair. But yeah, other than that, not much to say about transitioning journey. I probably, when I do cut everything off, I will make a video. I guess I'll call it a big chop. Is it really a big chop if I've been transitioning for a year? It'll be a chop. So I will be sharing my eventual chop experience. I haven't seen my entire head in its natural state since I was a teenager, and that's been, it's been a little minute. Plus I like watching big chop videos or transition chop videos. So one thing I've always wanted to do if I did decide to transition was make that video. So I will definitely make sure to share that because that is a big moment. You're officially starting the next chapter. Because I do feel like right now I'm still kind of holding on to dead weight. And I want to touch on trimming again because I only briefly mentioned it earlier, but when you are transitioning, you got to stay on top of your trims, like you really do, because your hair will tangle and you'll end up losing a lot of hair that you don't need to lose, especially when you wash it. It's gonna knot up like crazy. And so you'll know, if you're doing it yourself, you'll know what area to cut, because when you're combing, or if you can't use a brush, if you're using the brush on your hair, there'll be a certain spot all around your head where the comb or brush is gonna stop. That's where you need to cut. You just go through in sections while you're detangling and make sure to cut right along that line, and then you will be good to go. That's like the biggest tip that I got from my YouTube research when I was like overdosing on big chop transition videos. Trimming. Not enough stress is put on trimming. And I actually took pictures of the sink. I always stand in the same place when I'm taking down my hair, and so I'm gonna insert some photos of me holding giant balls of hair and show pictures of the sink after I cut all the hair. And I probably cut a lot more than I should have, or than I needed to during those sessions when I was trimming. But it was because, like I had said before, I had already committed to the process, and I knew that trimming my hair to protect the health of the new hair that was coming in and also protect my scalp, I knew that that was part of the process. And so since I was committed to it, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm going bald, I'm cutting my hair. It was more so, this is part of the process that I committed to, and I'm willing to embrace that part of the process. Okay, so now that my hair is completely detangled, I'm gonna go ahead and wash it in these two sections that I have here. One thing that I did learn throughout my research that I just got done ranting about was it actually is beneficial to wash your hair in sections, whether that be 2 or 4 or 8, however many sections you need to be able to cut down on tangles. So 2 has been the magic number for me, so I'm gonna stick with that for now. Also, wanted to show you guys what my sink looks like after all that detangling I just did. And so as you can see, these are bigger pieces of hair and not really so much like broken off pieces like here. Like that's the relaxed hair, but this here is just hair that shed. Like it was just coming out even before I started combing. And it is very satisfying to see curly hair, because I remember at one time all that hair was straight. So now that I've talked you guys' heads off, I'll go ahead and end this video. If you're interested in seeing what a wash day routine looks like for me, tune in to my next video where I'll give you a step-by-step of the products I use and how each one worked for me. Also, let me know in the comments if you would like to see more hair videos, tutorials, or rants. I'll see you in the next video.